In Q1, we delivered 360 vehicles to customers, nearly tripling the 125 cars delivered in Q4 of 2021. Furthermore, in April alone, we delivered well over 300 vehicles, demonstrating our accelerated production ramp. And this growth progression keeps us nicely on track for our 12,000 to 14,000 production target, as Sherry will tell us more about shortly. We're pleased with the demand we're seeing, and now we have more than 30,000 reservations as of today. Note that this 30,000 figure does not include the recent up to 100,000 car deal with the government of Saudi Arabia, which is entirely incremental. In just 2 short quarters since we started deliveries, we've garnered many industry accolades, beating out some very well-established luxury car brands. The Lucid Air is now used in the same breath as some of the best-known luxury car luminaries in the market. And that's truly amazing if you think about it. In the first quarter, Lucid Air was named the best luxury electric car by US News and World Reports. It was named Luxury Electric Vehicle of the Year by Cars.com and Best Car to Buy 2022 by Green Car Reports. Edmunds very recently reported an unprecedented 505 miles in their real-world EV range test of the Lucid Air Dream R, a new record. We're nearing completion of deliveries of Lucid Air Dream Edition and commenced deliveries of Air Grand Touring in the first quarter, also having announced the new Air Grand Touring Performance model in April. The dual-motor Grand Touring Performance delivers 1,050 horsepower, making it the most powerful electric vehicle currently available in North America, combined with an exceptional EPA-estimated 446 miles range. The Air Grand Touring, with up to 516 miles of EPA-estimated range, has an unprecedented efficiency of 4.6 miles per kilowatt hour. We believe we can endow Lucid Air Pure with over 400 miles range with a battery pack size of less than 90 kilowatt hours, a significant battery downsize, and therefore cost saving and commercial advantage over the competition. So, our first step has been to deliver a vehicle with a longer range than anyone else in the market. And our next step, later this year, will be to deliver a vehicle with a range of over 400 miles, but to achieve this with a smaller battery pack than the competition. And this is Lucid's commercial advantage. Now, we're only able to do this because we design, develop, and manufacture our own technology in-house. It's the combination of our proprietary ultra-compact powertrain, state-of-the-art high-voltage inverter, our bidirectional 900-volt Wonderbox, exceptional aerodynamic design, and our scalable and modular battery pack, which is based on our extensive Formula E race experience. We also continue to make great strides in our software and developed 11 over-the-air software updates in Q1. We hear our customers, and we're delivering on their constructive feedback, many through over-the-air updates. We've designed our vehicles from a clean sheet to be one of the most advanced in the market, and with world-class vehicle technology that will enable us to deliver more features and enhancements without customers having to bring their vehicles in for service. We have the capability to control even the smallest of details in the car via software. With our software-defined vehicles, we can change everything from how the door handles function to increasing key fob battery life. And we'll continue to strive to meet the high standards of our customers by making their Lucids better and better over time. And as you can see from the photo in the shareholder presentation, the AMP factory expansion in Arizona is seeing tremendous progress. And once complete, we'll have an additional 2.85 million square feet of production footprint. and increase our annual production capacity in Arizona to 90,000 vehicles per year. We're also very excited to be breaking ground on our new factory in Saudi Arabia soon, and very shortly we'll have the grand opening of our Munich studio, signaling the arrival of Lucid to the EU market. Now, more on this next week when we will debut our EU plans. So our global expansion plans are on track. Now, having said that, I do want to highlight that supply chain dynamics are very fluid, and the COVID lockdowns in China that's impacting others in the industry are also resulting in some bottlenecks for us. But our team is doing an incredible job mitigating this to keep us on track. We also announced today that we're increasing prices on our vehicles that will go into effect at the beginning of June. The world has changed dramatically from the time we first announced Lucid Air back in September 2020. Now, I want to assure our existing reservation holders that we will be honoring current pricing for all existing customers as well as new reservations made before the end of the month. In order to ensure fairness and prioritization, we will be reaching out to reservation holders to facilitate order configurations in order to lock in pricing as their specified model becomes available. Now, lastly, I want to highlight a landmark agreement we made with the government of Saudi Arabia on April 20th. The government has undertaken to purchase up to 100,000 Lucid vehicles. This is one of the single largest electric vehicle purchases that I'm aware of, and we're delighted to be supporting Saudi Arabia in achieving its sustainability goals and net zero ambitions by bringing our advanced luxury EVs to Saudi Arabia.
Our Q1 revenue was $57.7 million, which represents a quarter-over-quarter increase of 113%. We remain committed to scaling our business and expect to see significant growth in revenue as our delivery volumes ramp across GT, Touring, and Pure models. As noted last quarter, we expect increased freight and overhead will result in impairment charges, which will negatively impact cost of revenue in 2022, though we expect this impact to lessen over time. R&D expense was $186.1 million, in line with our expectations. We opened 4 additional studios and service centers and continue to prepare for growth in North America, Europe, and the Middle East this year. Moving to the balance sheet. We ended the quarter with close to $5.4 billion of cash on hand, which we expect will fund us well into 2023. We have multiple options for additional funding to further solidify our position, which will enable us to continue to be opportunistic in the market. Ramping production is a high priority to fulfill growing demand as we're selling every vehicle we can make. As Peter also mentioned, we entered into a landmark agreement with the government of Saudi Arabia where they will undertake to purchase up to 100,000 vehicles over a 10-year period. The initial commitment is to purchase 50,000 vehicles with an option to purchase up to an additional 50,000 vehicles. Deliveries will start no later than 2023, and we expect orders will range from 1,000 to 2,000 vehicles annually and increase to 4,000 to 7,000 vehicles starting in 2025. We're also excited to announce that we'll be breaking ground very shortly on our previously announced manufacturing facility in Saudi Arabia, which should enable us to meet the growing demand for Lucid's products over time. Moving to our production outlook. Similar to many companies in our industry, we continue to face global supply chain and logistics challenges, including COVID-related factory shutdowns in China. We are working closely with our suppliers to mitigate the impact of disruptions. While any extended disruptions could result in an impact to our production forecast, today we are reiterating our 12,000 to 14,000 vehicle production guidance for 2022 based on the information we have at this point, combined with our mitigation plan. We're also reiterating our CapEx of roughly $2 billion in 2022 and continue to believe our current cash on hand is sufficient to fund our scaling well into 2023. From a product perspective, we're excited to start delivering the Air Grand Touring Performance in June and the Air Touring and Air Pure later this year, with Project Gravity SUV remaining on target to begin production in the first half of 2024. And much more to come.
Thank you, Sherry. We are intently focused on ramping production this year to get more of our award-winning vehicles into customers' hands. And this is a top priority, and we are pushing hard. Our geographic expansion plans are progressing as planned, and I believe our product roadmap is second to none, with the Grand Touring Performance, Grand Touring, Pure, and Project Gravity on schedule for their respective timelines. And we'll have more to share with you in the future.
I'd say we don't know for certain. The situation is very fluid. We are actively monitoring it, and we will act as required. We are pushing ahead also, though, with many engineering changes and cost reduction initiatives that are aimed at lowering our cost basis for the vehicles. So that is helping to offset, some of this as well. But if we do have to raise further, one of the things that we're comforted by is we know that we offer a very unique value proposition to customers, and we believe there's no other vehicle on the market that offers the same combination of efficiency, performance, range, space, and design that we have. So like other companies, we are experiencing these real increases in commodities, and we're just going to have to balance the benefits that we provide to all our stakeholders, whether it be our customers, our suppliers, or our investors. But we believe that the action we're taking right now best optimizes, and then as for future, we're just going to have to watch and see.
Indeed, Charles, I think Sherry raises a really salient point here, and it's not recognized sufficiently. Our efficiency advantage becomes a commercial advantage. We can provide a car with competitive range for a smaller battery pack, and that helps in our cost structure.
So we have long-term contracts with two of the major global suppliers, that's LG and Samsung. Those are multi-year in nature. We also have some stateside production that's going to be coming on board as well. On the raw material side, we are exposed, like most companies are, to the raw materials in the batteries, but we are fortunate in that we can leverage the buying power of LG and Samsung in their access to these raw materials going forward. Now, as for our availability, we are covered fully through this year, and we also have most of our coverage for the next couple of years, but we are working with both LG and Samsung, as well as another company that we're in the process of validating this fall, that we expect will come on board with them either later this year or early next year. And we're working with these three groups in order to supply the balance of what we need. But right now, things are looking promising at this point.
Indeed.